Plaintiffs Elizabeth and Stephen Doerner are suing a bodybuilder for throwing firecrackers into their car. Defendant John Penry says he already paid their insurance deductible.
Do you two know him?
Not until the incident happened, sir.
Well, which one of you wants to speak?
I'll do most of the speaking.
All right, so go ahead.
What happened is we were leaving our house, driving down Coventry Road.
Are we in Dayton, Ohio?
Dayton, Ohio, yes,
All
sir.
right, go ahead.
We got to the stop sign, went on through the stop sign. Well, there's a Jeep parked off to the, there was a Jeep parked on the side right in front of his house. And he was standing in the driveway, sitting on firecrackers. Well, when we passed the Jeep, we seen him. He's bent over lighting a pack of them blackjack firecrackers, right? And
I guess.
He looks up when we passed by, because I looked over and seen him. She was driving, I look over and I see him, and he's lighting them in the process. Well, he still, after looking up and seeing us, still throws the firecrackers.
This pack
of firecrackers into the car.
In the car?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I got
About how many are in this pack?
I'd say a regular pack of blackjacks holds at least 20 firecrackers at the minimum.
Okay.
So they go off. Some of them go on the outside of the car. The majority of them went on the inside of the car.
Front or back seat?
Once they go in, once a firecracker explodes inside a car, it
I mean,
splatters.
but did it go in the front passenger side door?
Yeah, it's a Camaro. Yeah, went in the passenger side door.
Land in your lap or nearby by any chance?
I got burned on my chest, but it was a slight burn.
Might have been quite startling. You didn't hit anything, did you?
I slammed my brakes, no, but I didn't hit anything. My hearing was distorted for like 10 minutes because, you know, I didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I did slam on my brakes, but I didn't hit anything. So.
Okay.
So my first reaction is, what's going on? I'm getting ready to get out of the car, you know. I just see these firecrackers go in my car, and I'm upset, you know. I'm getting ready to get out of the car, and my wife turns around and looks behind. She said, "Steve, stay in the car." And I turned around and looked. I didn't know that Mr. Penry was as big as he was, along with his, he had another friend there with him that was also
just the same size.
Same size guy, a pretty big guy. So I decided to stay in the car at that point. He didn't come over and apologize, didn't come over to see if we was okay. Nothing like that. He stood there on his sidewalk while we got out of the car and started looking around the car for the damages. And he just stood there on the sidewalk, and him and his buddy just stared at us like, what are you guys going to do? You know, trying to intimidate us. So in the meantime, we just called the police.
What happened when the police got there? I want to fast forward a little bit.
Well, when the police got there, probably 30 minutes after it happened, after he picked up all his firework trash, his buddy got in his car and backed down the street. He didn't have no front license plate, so I couldn't read the plate. And Mr. Penry went inside his house and came out his front door, which faces Fulver, and got in the car. Well, I ran around the corner to try to get a license plate number, give the cops. Well, they drove backwards the whole way down the street, so I couldn't get a plate number.
Oh, attempting to evade apprehension.
Yeah, left the scene before the cops came.
Yeah, so they weren't there when the cops came at all. I was able to talk to one of the neighbors. He said they'd been out there drinking, sitting on firecrackers all day long. Yeah, that's the main thing. They picked up their beer cans or firework trash. He had poles sticking out of the ground to shoot bottle rockets up in the air and everything.
You know, we could have been blinded or anything, you know. And
had an accident.
Firecrackers are illegal to have in the state of Ohio anyways.
We'll be back with more Judge Joe Brown in a moment.
Then I seen someone throw their middle finger out the window.
He flipped you off.
Yeah.
Do you have a video of me driving by her house?
Closed captioning sponsored by...
Keep yours running with our All Change Plus special. Now only...
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiffs in this case say they were on their way to a 4th of July celebration when the defendant hurled a pack of fireworks into their car. They say the defendant has since tried to intimidate them by stalking their home on a daily basis.
Any damage to the vehicle?
Yeah, actually there's 2 burns on the hood. There was 3 burns on the windshield. There was multiple burns to the interior of the car.
Do you have any photos or anything?
Yes, sir. I've got some photos here. Some of them, I've also made a videotape that I brought in of the scene of the accident, of where it happened, how it happened, and
Well,
the
let's see
burn
it.
marks.
It's not
'cause
long, I see. Let's take a look at these photos first. What do we have here? Okay, nice ride, nice ride. All right, keep going. That's the upholstery, I take it?
That's the upholstery of the driver's seat.
That,
That's two of the burn.
yes,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
that. Let's see the tape.
This is the exterior of the car. Here's the damage done to the exterior towards the right front hood. We've got a burn mark there on the windshield.
There's one of the burns right there.
Right burn.
Compression damage to the
right
safety
there, as you
glass is
see.
what I'm looking at. Okay.
There's some burns
That's-
done to the hood. There's one right there.
And I hope you didn't have to go to the doctor for your
No, sir.
minor
It was
burn,
just
did
a
you?
slight burn.
All right. Now, you say something disturbs me a little bit. You say he has developed a habit of coming by where you live and glaring at you
He's
from
been
time
driving
to
by our
time.
house a lot lately.
Describe that to me, please.
He drives by our house real slow and just stares at the house. He does it about every day. Both of our neighbors on the side have seen him doing it.
You've seen him do it.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it. I've looked out the window
How
and seen
many
him.
times?
I've seen him at least 2 times do it myself.
I've actually been outside 2 to 3 times and seen him drive by, and he'll get to the house. In fact, one time I was out there with my boy and my neighbor, and my neighbor said, "Who's that guy that just drove by?" He kept staring, and one day he actually drove by, and I didn't really recognize him at first, but then I seen someone throw their middle finger out the window, so I walked back out to my parking, to my...
He flipped you off.
Yeah, I walked back
Oh,
out to
my.
my sidewalk, and he actually busted a U-ey at that next intersection and then drove back by and stared me down again.
Well, let's go to the defendant. What do you have to say about all this, sir?
First of
Start
all,
anywhere you
he
wish.
was driving. He was driving the car, not her. And he got out of the car and looked at
How
the...
would you know he was drunk?
What?
Oh, please don't interrupt.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So he jumped out of the car. When the firecrackers went off, it was an accident. I never saw him coming.
Accident?
I mean, I was lighting them off at the end of the driveway. It wasn't an
Accident? How'd they get in his car?
I'm not trying to say it didn't land on the car. It did land on the car.
Landed on the car.
Yes, they were going off in my hand, and I was trying to get rid of them.
Been drinking?
I had a couple of beverages, but I was not drunk then.
Judge Joe Brown makes his ruling after this.
Violent crime and you're still paying? Call 1-877-JOE'S-LAW or visit judgejoebrown.com.
Now explain to me what you're doing coming by there later. Why'd you do that?
I have not gone by their house. I don't even know where they
come
live.
on.
Do you have a video of me driving by her
Come
house?
on. What? Oh, they
No,
don't
I
have
got
a
several
video. I wouldn't
witnesses over
expect
my
them to have a
neighbors.
video.
Your Honor, I do not go by their house. I mean, I drive around the neighborhood and look at possible rental properties to buy, but I don't go by their house and stare at them. And I've
you
never gone by
know
and flipped
there
them
is
off.
this property on their block. It just looks like something that'll be coming on the market shortly.
don't know
and
where
you're
they
trying
live.
to deal with that. Oh, come now.
I do not know where they live.
Your Honor, the criminal case, when it first happened, we gave them my parents' address for the fact that hopefully he wouldn't know that we lived 5 blocks down the road.
Well,
for
you
the
see,
criminal
here's what
case.
the problem is. There's a nice woman over here, somebody's wife who was injured.
And I
a
was 3
minor
months
burn.
pregnant at the time, too.
Yes, oh my goodness. She might have lost control of the vehicle and smashed into a parked car, and someone would have gotten grievously injured. That's gonna cost you. Now, what does all that add up to? You paid $1,700 out of pocket. You've received an amount of $500 from the defendant.
It was $22.60 out of pocket, sir. and
$22.60 out of
minus
pocket.
the
I haven't
$500.
finished yet. Just
Okay, sorry.
hold on. Make a long story short, you reached Ohio's jurisdictional limit with punitive and actual damages and costs, $3,000 in your court costs. Judgment accordingly. That was a very expensive, fun-filled event.
And the plaintiffs in this case were on their way to a fireworks show. They had no idea that it would take place in their car. A potentially deadly situation, actually, while they're driving. They win. We'll be right back.
Next on Judge Joe Brown. Was he a battered boyfriend?
Why aren't you two living together now?
Because she's
A round of fireworks into the plaintiff's car. The defendant didn't beg forgiveness or attempt an apology. He did the opposite and apparently treated the plaintiffs as the offenders. He will pay for the damage. For information on future cases, check out our website at judgejoebrown.com.